even that up a little bit now. The crucial thing though is Xavier's economy hasn't been hurt. That's what's keeping him in the game. But Nara with an equal number of expansions to Xavier, and I think that's going to hurt Xavier. Xavier once again dropping Zerglings into that base into Nara's main, before Nara can get too many turrets up, and Xavier's going to be able to take some turrets down, and Xavier now trying to go and drop into that expansion at the 6 o'clock position, trying to retake that expansion. Couple of overlords. I think those couple of overlords were empty decoys. Nara with a drop of his own. Both players dropping. Xavier is going to be able to take. Nara's got more than enough units to deal with this drop of Xavier, which is just primarily Zerglings in that 6 o'clock expansion. Meanwhile, Xavier's losing his expansion in the middle left of the map, and this is really hurting Xavier. Nara edging ahead in this encounter. Xavier in trouble here, guys. Xavier in real danger of losing this match. And Nara playing brilliant StarCraft. And I would have felt that Xavier would have probably been the one who would have probably been more likely. I mean, I want both of these players to qualify for the Star League finals. I think Xavier would be the one who needs to win this match more, because Nara, I think, will comfortably dispatch Yarnak in a rematch if there should be one, and Kanata if that's the game in the losers final. However, I don't think Xavier is going to have as good a chance to progress. I'm sure he will, if there's a rematch with Kanata, he'll come through okay, but I think Zerg versus Zerg, anything's possible. It's a little bit dodgy, and it could be that Nara might be the person putting the nail in the coffin for Xavier in this season, and I think that would be a major blow to Xavier. I think Xavier is in serious trouble now. I think this is a little bit of a last-ditch attempt by Xavier to try and win a way back into this game, pushing forward towards the middle of Nara's bunkered forces, and being forced to pull back and save his remaining Earthlings. Xavier's economy taking damage there, not inflicting any damage to Nara's economy. He has had those expansions running up for longer, so they're going to be running out quicker as well. It's still possible for Xavier to pull off one genius move, but so far Nara has accounted for everything, defended everything brilliantly. Last game we saw Nara play the perfect aggressive Terran. This time he's played the perfect balanced Terran. Nara coming in with a dropship again, trying to drop at that expansion again in the middle of the left of the map, where he already killed off a few drones, and there is some tech for Xavier, and he is dropping it. Xavier just seems to be not aware to this. This is poor by Xavier. He had Zerglings waiting there. This was very poor by Xavier. He had Zerglings waiting. He didn't spot the drop coming in on the minimap. He was obviously distracted, and now he's going to lose another couple of drones. He's bringing a single Ultralisk out to fight those Marines. He's managed to kill off one of the Marines, and he should be good. And Xavier looks to be focusing to drop again, and I don't see the point of dropping this base where Nara is not getting any minerals down. He's lost a lot of overlords, and Xavier with a pathetic drop there. That was a poor drop by Xavier. I think Xavier just seems to be short of answers right now versus Nara, and this is not the Xavier of old. This is not the dominant Xavier that we're used to. This is not the Xavier that is unstoppable. Nara is stopping the previously unstoppable Xavier quite comfortably here, and every second that this game goes on, I see it tilting more and more in Nara's favor. Xavier trying everything. I think in the end he just hasn't kept that unit count down enough. He let Nara sit for that little while in the middle and get his defenses up, thinking that he was in the lead, and I think Xavier was in the lead then. Xavier once again coming in the middle of the map, those Marines isolated. He's got a bunch of medics. Now he's got a bunch of medics next to that siege tank, but the Marines aren't with them. Could this be the turning point in the game for Xavier? He needs to take on those science vessels while those Marines are dead. Where are the Scourges? Xavier's got an Ultralisk as well, hammering up those SCVs. Now he's got reinforcements arriving to mop up the remaining force of Xavier's, but this has given Xavier a chance to go down and try and do some damage, and he's going to take out those turrets. Xavier's fighting back in this game. Xavier fighting back. Nana's got a number of medical Marines, but those Zerglings and Ultralisks are dealing some damage to them. And basically Xavier's keeping a handful of his units in the middle of the map to keep Nara's forces busy and occupied while he tries to do some damage to Nara's economy. So Xavier has successfully managed to make Nara lift the 6 o'clock as well as the 5 o'clock expos. But Nara managed to save most of his SCVs. Crucially, Xavier did not kill any SCVs there. So I think Nara's going to be okay. He's just going to bring those SCVs back and take those expansions back. But Xavier has bought himself a little bit of breathing room with that attack. Nara made a little bit of a mistake there. He had about 8 medics and no Marines next to his siege tanks. Xavier once again trying to push forward. He needs a swarm over those Ultralisks. Swarm goes up. He needs another swarm where his Ultralisks are fighting. Plague over all of the science vessels and the dropships and the Marines. Xavier, oh my god, brilliant Plague. Will that Plague bring Xavier right back into this game and right back on top? We saw one genius move for him in the middle. One big battle that gave him a chance. A lot of forces lying dead, blood everywhere. I'm not sure if they're Xaviers or not. This is really close. This is insane. Xavier trying to barrel through and deal some sort of a cripple blow to Nara. Not able to do so. However, Nara's forces are tied up in his main, and that is really hurting his economy because that expansion at the 5 o'clock and the 6 o'clock base aren't mining. Those two Ultralists still pounding away, killing away. Xavier trying to intercept now some of Nara's SCVs. Nara bring those science vessels out, and Nara in a little bit of trouble here, but I think if he consolidates, he'll be able to push back out. But actually, no, to be honest, I don't think he's going to be able to. I think Xavier has swung just with a couple of moves, the game back in his favor just when I thought Nana was coming out on top. And you gotta be honest, guys, if you're honest with me, when you were watching that game, you would have to admit you thought Nana was on top. You thought that he wasn't going to be able to stop, but Xavier brilliantly taking advantage of Nana's Marines and Medics and his force being a little bit separated, taking out Nada's in-place defenses in the middle just when it looked like Nada was dealing more damage to his economy and to Xavier's economy, and his own was intact. And now Nada finally able to try and clear out that expansion, try and clear out the middle of the map, and once again he's unable to do so. Xavier with the Mutalisk finishing off those science vessels. This is sore for Nada. 4 science vessels! 4 science vessels taken out by Xavier. 4 runs, 4 in a row. Xavier taking out 4 science vessels, and Nada now just absolutely dead in the water. He sent those SCVs back. They're dying to Zerglings, and Xavier, because he's taken out that middle, and we can see how crucial that middle really was for the Terran player in order to be able to defend adequately, to be able to reinforce adequately. Xavier's force is obviously a lot more mobile. Siege tanks not enough so, and in the end, Xavier's Ultra is bursting through Nada's defenses, and it looks like more science vessels are going to go down, and Nada losing more science vessels there. And here I was talking about just how this is not the dominant Xavier yet we all knew, and there we see it, folks. This is the hallmark of a true champion, to snatch a victory out from the jaws of defeat, and that is what Xavier seems to have done here. And let me not call this game too early, lest there are a few twists and turns left. However, all that being said, I do think Xavier is now in a much more commanding position in this game, but that being said, I don't think Nada needs to feel embarrassed. I think Xavier with a brilliant move, and Nada was, I think, a little bit unlucky where he got caught with all of his forces spread out. Nada trying to go for a drop, try and retake that expansion. He's going to lose both of his dropships, and that's going to hurt Nada a lot. He lost both of his dropships. So that 6 o'clock expansion has been taken by Xavier. But that one battle where Nada had a group of Marines, full group of Marines, not sitting in front of his siege tanks, Xavier cast Swarm over them, and that was just, you've got to say Xavier had better micro in that fight, and that's what won him that fight, superior micro. Nada didn't control his units as well, and he paid the price for it. And now he's in a little bit of trouble because he doesn't have units to both defend his main as well as take back those expansions, which he desperately needs for resources, and Xavier's units just streaming into that undefended base of Nada with only a handful of Marines. They are upgraded, but they're taking some serious damage, and he's in a lot of trouble here, Nada, and I just don't see a way back for him in this game. So he's just trying to kill off those SCVs mining the gas from probably what is almost an empty extractor now, and now Nada's SCVs are caught, and Xavier's put the swarm up to cover those units while he massacres those SCVs. Those SCVs caught between the mineral line. Plague goes off on all the medics and Marines, and really this has to be GG. Nada is really running out of time here to win this game, and brilliant play by Xavier. Xavier goes through to the own game at Star League Finals. Great play. I'm impressed, and I think anyone who was not viewing Xavier as a serious opponent next season had better rethink their philosophy on that, because Xavier has just showed us what he's made of, and despite that I would say bone-crunching, confidence-destroying matchup against Bisu in the OSL last season, Xavier looks as determined as ever, folks. Perhaps not as controlling and as casual in his victory as he has been in the past. He is nevertheless as entertaining and as enigmatic, and Xavier with only the charisma that a player of his caliber can possess, dispatching the veteran champion Nada and forcing him to play another. I still think we're going to see Nada in the OSL Star League Finals this season. I still think Nada's going to come out on top in the final match of the group in Game 5. And despite the fact that my throat is dying after screaming my lungs off in that game, I will be commenting on that match, I think. So look out for that, guys. But wow, what a brilliant game. Nada trying to fight back. He's managed to rustle up a couple of science vessels, and this is the stuff of desperation now, irradiating his own science vessels to try and kill off Xavier's economy. Xavier's continuing to focus on Nada's main, because sending units on Nada's main, and Nada's just got that small group of medic and Marines, and if Xavier can polish this force off, that's going to be GG. If Xavier can now kill off this expansion at the 5 o'clock position, that's going to be no way back for Nada from there. Xavier looks like he's ignoring that actually for now and going for the 3 o'clock expansion instead. Or is he's just bunching up his units? Another plague. Xavier's plagues have been immaculate. Nada trying to block off that choke, but those plague medic and Marines are going to die very quickly. Those 2 science vessels have already used up their irradiates and used up their science vessel energy, and really this is now hopeless for Nada. GG. Xavier with a brilliant victory. Brilliant, well-deserved victory over Nada. And all credit to Nada. You got to feel sorry for him. He plays a great game of StarCraft, and just for that one instant of, I would say, bad micro has cost him this game ultimately in the end. So genius play by Xavier. He pulls out the win. It's only a matter of seconds, I would venture, before Nada GG's, and he finally does. GG. Xavier, the maestro in the OSL. Look out. reigning champions, you've got a major player to contend with. This is Klazartsc, guys. Thanks for listening.
이기고도 나쁜 뜻이 아닌 정말